it's probably best to just double check everything you hear, especially from a guy on YouTube wearing a mask and a bunch of light that says guns on it. So don't trust me at all. Always do your research. So now we can start the video. Guys, welcome back. I'm back in the gun room, and the gun room is an ongoing thing, so I'm always putting new lights in and doing whatnot, but it looks pretty good so far. But I'm doing a lot of reading, watching, and just trying to learn things. And lately I've gotten to reloading, and I never really been in the bolt guns, so since I started reloading, I almost flicked the switch that I'm starting to see that I really enjoy shooting bolt guns, especially at distance. I'm not too far out, but that's kind of where this video is going, that I want to better myself as a shooter, and I want to shoot out to 1,000 meters. That is my goal, and if I can achieve that goal, I'm going to get myself the Impact 4000 and probably some other things, but that was what my plan was. And I already got the diving board for it, so I'm ready to throw that sucker on when I do get it. But so in the video, I already filmed it. I've been shooting a lot, and I've have to use my hand loads, so I finally figured out a suitable bullet that groups okay. So I'm new at reloading, so I'm still learning a lot of things, but I found one that's groups fine, and 77 grain. I guess I can just grab them. So I am shooting the Sierras, the Match King 77 grain, and I will add the footage, but I'm using 24.2 grains of CFE 223. I don't know if you can see them up there, and I've been using Remington primers, and that seems to be the load that I'm leaning towards. So far, I am out at 600, and it was extremely hard for me to get that 600 yard shot consistently. Spotting by myself, it's pretty hard, especially I tried to use the calculator, the dope calculator, because I got a chronograph, so I was doing all that stuff, and I tried to use the calculator, but it was still off, so I just said screw it, and just went out there and shot. Obviously, I used a lot of ammo and spent a lot of time out there, but I got to 600, so I'm quite happy about that. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to have to, I think 600 is the point where you kind of need a spotter and some good glass if you're spotting for yourself, and like a decent setup. So that's kind of where I'm leading on to now, is the equipment that I have. It's good equipment, but there's always better to make it easy on yourself. So still shooting the CZ 600 Alpha in 223, and I absolutely love the gun. It's really made me enjoy long range shooting, but it's missing a couple of things that would benefit me in this goal of mine. So I put a brake on. It's a 30 cal brake, and that helped out extremely a lot to spot for myself, so it's not recoiling, so it's going all over everywhere, so I can focus in the scope. And another thing that would help out is if I could have some weights, because it's still there's a little bit of recoil. It's going to be a little bit, but if I could put some weights up top, it would help keep the gun down, so I can focus on the scope and where the bullet is impacting. The elevation has got lots of elevation. That's good. It's 5 by 25 by 56. The glass is pretty good. It's a really good beginner scope, but I'm finding out now it's roughly right about the 500. You can see the bullet trace, And at 600, it gets to be a little bit harder. So I love that scope, but once I get behind things more and shoot more, you're kind of finding out a little bit more about the optic. I was having some issues with that at 600, so I grabbed this thing. It's written or right on, I think it's the same thing, 5 to 25 by 50. And the glass quality is a little bit better in it. So I could focus on the bullet when I shot, and I could see the trace flying through the air at 600. So the glass did help, and my first initial couple hits at 600 was with this thing. Can't talk. All because I could see that trace, so I could adjust pretty quick and just hold over. Obviously, it's a semi-autos, it's a Sterling, and it is quite a bit heavier. I can shoot better with that because it's heavier. I would say the trigger might be a hair bit better. I like straight triggers. It's got a gold trigger tech in there. Set it extremely light, and you can follow up on the shots right after. But I think it's more or less because of the weight, and the glass is just a hair bit better to see where you're aiming. But I shot out to, actually the furthest I've shot is 640 with that thing, and my elevation is pretty much maxed out on that thing, so I didn't read. I guess I don't really read on things before I buy. I usually just buy it and figure it out after. But so there's not much elevation on that thing, but there's, I think there was, I don't want to give you false numbers, but I think it was 21 MRAD, and this was, the Strike Eagle was 31 or 32. I'm going to double check those numbers, but so there's quite a bit more elevation on the Strike Eagle than the written optic, right on, I should say. I always keep messing that up. Okay, well, I figured might as well start from scratch again. Get the load data for the 77 grain. So I'm at 200 yards. I figured 100's good because that's what I sighted in for. So I think I got it's probably about a 8-inch gong, maybe 6. $200 marked off, got the old check mark. So next is, probably just go to 300. Okay, we're at 299.2. So I'm no scientist, but I'm out here trying, and that's about all you can do. I go up about 2 more clicks. So 300, good to go. It's one step closer to my Impact 4000. So we're out here at 400. We're gonna look, see what I was shooting before. So let's step it up to 4. Yeah, it's pretty close. I threw that one a little bit, but I'm happy with that. It's pretty bang on actually, so we got 400 yards out of the way. Okay, so out at 500 again. Well, there you can hear it. I still come down one. These ones shoot pretty straight. I like these 77 grainers. I'll try for the little one. Hit. Heck yeah, I like seeing that. So the average on these things are about 2,700 feet per second. But got 500 yards down. There we go. Heck yeah, right beside it. I'm gonna try to dial that. Go one more time. Okay, so go one. There we go. Okay, now I'm gonna go for the mini. I broke some wood on that one. Si- 600 yards, I count that check mark on that one. He did it twice for it to count. Impact. I'm gonna count that.